You keep calling it FOMO, fear of missing out. But what if that's not it? What if it's not about missing the move? It's about missing meaning. You see that green candle explode, Bitcoin rockets, everyone on Twitter is screaming, "We're back," and something deep inside you burns. Not because you want profit, but because you want to matter. You want to feel part of the moment, part of the winners, part of the story. Here's the truth nobody dares to say. Most traders aren't afraid of missing money. They're afraid of missing identity. Look, every chart you chase, every FOMO entry you justify isn't driven by strategy. It's driven by survival, not financial, social. Because in today's markets, relevance is the new oxygen. And when you're left out of the move, it feels like you can't breathe. So let's ask the real question. When you say you have FOMO, what are you actually afraid of? Missing opportunity or missing validation? I've seen this pattern 1,000 times. Traders who swear they've fixed their discipline until one breakout hits the news, and suddenly they're buying the top again, just to be part of it. They tell themselves it's strategy. It's never strategy. It's the same human craving that makes people refresh Instagram for likes. That same dopamine loop now connected to your broker account. Welcome back to Disciplined Trades, where we rewire your brain, not just your trades. Today, I'll expose the hidden fear beneath your so-called FOMO. Because what if you're not chasing trades? What if you're chasing significance? Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll understand why even billion-dollar hedge fund managers fall into this exact trap. You'll discover 5 psychological shifts that can break the cycle permanently. The same mindset shift the top 1% of traders use to stay calm while the world loses its mind. I'm going to show you how to recognize when your urge to get in isn't about opportunity, but about insecurity. And the 5th insight, the one at the end, is the reason I stopped blowing accounts after every bull run. So here's the challenge. In the comments, answer one simple question. When was the last time you bought a trade not because your system told you to, but because everyone else was winning? Be honest, because that honesty might be the first profitable trade you ever make. Chapter 1. The Myth of FOMO. It's not about missing profit. Everyone throws around the word FOMO like it's a joke, but neuroscience paints a darker picture. MIT studies on dopamine response show that anticipation of gain activates the same neural circuits as social recognition. That means your brain doesn't just crave money, it craves belonging. When you see others making money, your brain releases a cocktail of dopamine and cortisol. Excitement mixed with panic, it's not fear of missing out. It's fear of being left out. Let me prove it. In 2017, during the cryptomania, Google search data showed the word Bitcoin spiked hardest not when price was rising, but when it was already up 300%. At the peak, that's when everyone wanted in. Not because the trade made sense, because that's when the herd was watching. Humans are social traders by evolution. The same wiring that made our ancestors follow the tribe toward food and safety now makes you follow green candles. It's survival instinct misapplied. Your brain whispers, if they're winning and I'm not, I might not survive. Not financially, psychologically. That's why the rational part of you, the one that knows you're buying the top, gets completely muted. This is the real definition of FOMO. It's not financial anxiety. It's social anxiety with a price tag. So the next time your heart races and your finger hovers over the buy button, ask yourself, am I reacting to the market or to the fear of being invisible? Chapter 2. The Instagram Trader Effect. Let's get even more uncomfortable. You think you're trading against the market. You're not. You're trading against social proof. Every screenshot, every profit post, every Lambo photo you scroll past is literally hacking your neural circuitry. Neuroscientists at UCLA found that seeing people get rewarded activates mirror neurons, the same cells that fire when you get rewarded. So when someone posts plus 5K today, your brain thinks you just won. It floods your body with dopamine. Then that dopamine needs an outlet, so you chase a trade to sustain the high. That's why FOMO feels like addiction, because it is. We're no longer trading charts. We're trading narratives, and the market has become the loudest social network on earth. Let me give you an example from the pros. In 2021, a top-tier hedge fund noticed their junior traders had a 35% higher error rate on days when CNBC ran market euphoria headlines. Not because they changed strategies, but because their brains got infected with collective excitement. Their risk team literally called it the contagion effect. The lesson? You can have perfect risk management on paper and still lose if your brain is connected to the noise. So start detoxing. Unfollow profit screenshots. Mute the loudest voices. The fewer external signals you consume, the more clearly you'll hear your own system. This isn't about discipline. It's about neural hygiene. You clean your chart, now clean your inputs. Chapter 3. The Loneliness Loop. Why Traders Crave Validation. Here's what almost no one admits. Trading is lonely, painfully lonely. You sit in front of screens, no teammates, no crowd, no applause. So your brain does what it's designed to do. It searches for belonging. Social media fills that void. The trading chat, the Telegram group, the Discord server, that's where you go for connection. But here's the paradox. Those places that make you feel connected are the same places that trigger your insecurity. Every win someone posts is a tiny needle to your self-worth. Every missed move feels like proof that you're behind. And when that insecurity spikes, you trade. Not because the chart told you to, because the silence did. The silence of irrelevance. In 2020, a behavioral finance study at Duke University tracked 600 traders over 12 months. They found a direct correlation between social media usage and frequency of impulsive trades. The lonelier a trader felt, the more likely they were to chase momentum. That's why monks can hold positions better than you. They don't need validation. So here's a challenge. For the next week, trade in silence. No posting, no checking what others are doing. Just you and the market. Notice how different your decisions feel when you're not subconsciously performing for an audience. Chapter 4. The Identity Trap. You're not a trader, you're a performer. This one hurts. Somewhere along the way, you stopped trading to win. You started trading to prove you're smart, to prove you belong, to prove you can escape mediocrity. That's not trading. That's theater. I remember coaching a trader named Daniel. Brilliant guy. Had a solid system, consistent back tests, but every time he posted a live call in his group, he'd deviate from his plan. When I asked why, he said, "I feel like I have to be right in front of them." There it was. He wasn't trading the market. He was trading his image. And this is the silent killer of modern traders. You curate your trades like Instagram posts. You delete the bad ones. You brag about the good ones. You build an identity around being the trader. Then every loss feels like identity death. You can't cut it fast enough because cutting means admitting imperfection. So you hold and you lose. Here's the truth. The top 1% don't trade to prove who they are. They trade to protect who they've become. Their ego is already fed elsewhere. That's why they can stay calm when you can't. So ask yourself right now, who are you without your profit and loss? If your answer is nothing, then you'll never win, because every losing day will feel like self-annihilation. The fix isn't more discipline, it's identity detachment. You are not your trades. You are the architect of a process. Detach the self. The profits will follow. Chapter 5. The Power of Irrelevance. Why the best traders disappear. This is the paradox that flips everything. The longer you chase relevance, the more the market punishes you. The moment you stop caring, it rewards you. Look at the legends. Jim Simons, the quiet mathematician behind Renaissance technologies. No social media, no interviews, no spotlight. His fund made over $100 billion in profit. Meanwhile, the loudest gurus online spend more time marketing than trading. You already know which group you want to be in. Here's the insight. The market is a mirror. It reflects your intent. If your intent is to be noticed, it gives you volatility, big wins, bigger losses, endless drama. If your intent is to master the craft, it gives you consistency. Being irrelevant is the ultimate edge. When no one's watching, you stop performing. You start thinking. You start listening. You start seeing. The invisible traders, the ones you'll never find online, are the ones quietly compounding millions because they've transcended the need for applause. They don't chase relevance, they chase reality. So here's your final challenge. For the next 30 days, pretend you're invisible. Trade in secret. No screenshots, no flexes, just results. Let your profit and loss talk in silence. Because when the need to be seen dies, clarity is born. Climax. Let's slow this down. You think you're chasing opportunity, but what if all this time you were chasing validation? Every buy at the top, every panic entry, every sleepless night refreshing charts wasn't about the trade. It was about feeling alive. And that's okay. You're human. But here's the truth that separates amateurs from masters. Pros channel that same hunger, the need for relevance, into the craft itself. They find meaning in precision, in patience, in mastery. They don't chase the next big move. They chase the next perfect execution. That's the transformation. When the chart stops being a battlefield for your ego and becomes a canvas for your discipline, FOMO is just misplaced hunger. Feed it with mastery and it becomes fuel. Feed it with noise and it becomes poison. Remember this, the market doesn't reward the loudest, it rewards the longest. And longevity is built in silence. So here's what I want you to take from this. FOMO isn't your enemy. Your craving for relevance is. Once you see that, you can rewire it. Every time that urge hits, that panic to enter, pause. Ask yourself one question. Do I want this trade or do I just want to be seen? If it's the latter, walk away. You just saved your account. Here's your real world takeaway. Trading isn't about being first. It's about being right enough for long enough. Stop chasing moments. Start building longevity. If this hit you hard, hit that like button. Not for the algorithm, for yourself. As proof that you're choosing awareness over impulse. Subscribe for more deep rewires like this one. Because every week, we break down the psychology behind the market masks. And in the comments, I want you to write one sentence. The next time I feel FOMO, I'll choose silence. Because silence is where real traders are made. Next episode, we'll dive into the dopamine detox, how to reset your brain after a losing streak. It's gonna hurt, but it will heal you. Thanks for watching. Now go be irrelevant. That's where freedom lives.